So what are the negatives to bringing Gonzaga in? I really want to shout out the UCF, West Virginia fans, mostly those in that camp, because you're sitting there as West Virginia, now members of the Big 12 for 10 years, which gives you tenure, right? You've earned it. Going, wow, most of this expansion stuff, aside from like a Cincinnati and UCF, almost all of it has been focused out west. Brett Yormark obviously is focused out west. What does that do to Cincinnati? What does it do to West Virginia? What does it do to UCF? Doesn't help. It is going to take games away, fan experience away from some of these schools. Tuesday night game between West Virginia and Gonzaga in Spokane. No way West Virginia fans can get there. Tuesday night between Cincinnati and Gonzaga in Spokane. Your student athletes are flying totally across the country. From UCF to Gonzaga, especially across the country. There are some travel things to work in this that are going to suck. This is gonna blow. Now, USC is going to Rutgers. Yeah, you don't hear a lot of complaining out of Rutgers fans. I don't know how many of them there are. But here with West Virginia, I get it. You keep sitting here saying, why can't we have Pitt? What about Louisville? Why not sit and wait for the ACC to fall apart, and maybe at that point the Big 12 can expand further, but why stick your neck out for Gonzaga? And while right now it seems like Gonzaga is a safe option, one of the biggest reservations that I have is what happens when Mark Few leaves, if this is in 10 years. We bring in this team that competes at the highest level of the Big 12. We'll say that Gonzaga has a really easy time transitioning to the Big 12, which, as we've learned, is not the case for most teams in a lot of sports. Basketball is a little bit different. I think they'd have a decent transition. Let's say they have a rocky first year. They get back up to speed, have 7 years where their peak is they win one Big 12 championship in basketball. They compete for it every year, make 2 Final Fours in that 7-year stretch, right? That's really good. Again, a lot of schools would envy that. But then Mark Few leaves. And then within 2 or 3 years, say something falls apart, not surprising. Tommy Lloyd doesn't come back. Gonzaga starts having 10, 12-win seasons. Now you just have dead weight. You're making no money off this program. Your teams are completely, you're pissing money away to have to play Gonzaga, who in this scenario sucks at basketball. What we are assuming with this move is that Gonzaga is just going to be good at basketball for the rest of time. Because there can be a weird caveat of, yeah, we'll take Gonzaga until they're bad. We can't put that in the contract. Not how it works. You'd be like, yeah, well, one day we'll decide not to have you anymore. They're really good, and they've been sustained. They've had a sustained success for 2 decades, but there's always that chance. Mick Cronin leaves Cincinnati, and this team that's been so good at basketball now is trying to find itself again. That's going to happen when a legend leaves a program. Baylor, women's basketball. Kim Mulkey leaves, trying to find yourself again. West Virginia is going to struggle to get back up to speed despite dominance under Bob Huggins for a good portion of his career. Duke, where is Duke? Syracuse. It's such a volatile thing in college basketball where team can be so good for 2 decades, you change a coach, and the culture's gone, the fans aren't as interested. Sometimes there's a cult following around a guy like Mark Few. Mark Few got a DUI. We just kind of passed over that. Well, he wins a lot of basketball games. Which he's not, rare in that category. It's happened to so many coaches and players who it's like, oh, yeah, you got a DUI. That sucks. So with this, I understand the reservation. Travel's going to suck for West Virginia. Travel's going to suck for UCF and Cincinnati. Fans can't go out to Spokane for a Tuesday night game. It's going to kill that atmosphere. And if Gonzaga in a couple of years, after Mark Few leaves, in maybe even a decade, they're still here and they start to suck, they don't bring you any value. They don't have football to lean on. If you bring in baseball, you can't lean on that financially. There's a lot of risk to making the Big 12 a basketball conference. There could be the reward, a huge reward, as you continue to build on the best basketball league in America, maybe of all time. That is what you're trying to construct if you're Brett Yormark. But again, does that outweigh the risk of saying, look, We're going to bring in Gonzaga, and one day if they suck, we're just going to have to carry that dead weight. Now, if you bring in an Oregon State, which we'll get into this, Washington State, they suck at basketball. All right, sweet, fine, whatever. They have football programs to help anchor, to help set. You're like, oh, well, if we have X football program like a Washington State, what if that works out for us from a TV viewership standpoint? You can start to think about that. But the day that Gonzaga sucks, no one's watching them. We're just losing money. We're forcing teams to go out west. They don't have to. Is it really worth that? I mean, to me, maybe. I mean, I like this idea. I really do. My decision, if it's my decision, sure, bring them. Be some stipulations. Fine print here. But overall, is it the smartest decision for the Big 12? I don't know. My jury's out for now. If I'm West Virginia, I understand. I'd be pissed too. Yeah. If I'm UCF, I'd be pissed. Cincinnati, like, hey, let's hold on for a second. Wait for Louisville. Wait for Pitt. Wait for the ACC to implode. Now, look, on the flip side of this, you don't have to wait. You can do both. You can bring Gonzaga in and Pitt. You can become a 25-team league, which is where everybody's going. The Big 12's in a good spot right now, unless you ask Kyle Whittingham. But I get it. I get the sentiment. And if they start to suck, that makes things really hairy. So if I have to press the red button and say do it, I still do. But a lot to consider with this. I'm Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am not wearing underwear. They're built into my shorts. I bought a blanket at Marshall's yesterday. I love blankets, man. I just love being cozy. I can't even apologize to you for loving being cozy. And one of my favorite cozy things is bird dogs. They make you look good. They stretch like khaki shorts, but designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and give you a sculpted look. People keep asking me, oh, is that Lululemon? No, it's better. It fits better. It doesn't hog my crotch. Sorry, BYU fans. Bird dogs fix the issue of crotch hogging with cloud knit fabric. They use anti-stink sweat wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day. They're functional for any occasions: golf, date, wedding. Show yourself wearing bird dogs right now. Send me a picture of you with your bird dogs and just say I'm not wearing underwear. Don't do that. Go to birddogs.com/LockedOnCollege to enter promo code LockedOnCollege at checkout for a free Bird Dogs water bottle with your order. birddogs.com/LockedOnCollege for a free water bottle at checkout. You won't want to take your bird dogs off. I promise you that.